Also then for fire, what happens if there's a fire that comes up the canyon where Tom Kai Road is? How does CDF, or CAL FIRE now, get into our area? How does ambulances, how do policemen, sheriffs, how do they get into our area if that part of the road has something really seriously wrong with it? So that's why I'm here to support that. At least if we can get the prototype looked at and get it built without it costing too much of an arm and a leg, you know, the $4,000 hammer, that would be really an improvement for our area, so that anything of any kind of an emergency that would happen, as Mr. Delboy said, and what was it, the year 2000 or whatever, when the Willits grade slipped out, we had beer trucks running through the back end, through all the creek crossings, so they could make their runs. And so it's kind of funny when you see that the big signs are up and no trespassing, you can't get through, and people are going through. They're going through in their Cadillacs. They're going through in any way, shape, or form, so they can get from one part of the town to, you know, county to the other part. So we really need to have this as a basis to keep going with other areas, and so I'm just here to support that, and thank you very much.
I think there is a question for you, Supervisor Pinches.
Yes. Does most of the folks up there, they go to Willits to the shopping and take the kids?
Most everybody goes to Ukiah because that's where a majority of them are living. But if you have been through the creek crossings right now, they are so bad that even in my four-wheel drive truck, I have to go down to a low gear in order to get through them, just because it's not maintained.
So most of the people are coming through Red
They have
Valley.
to. The road is not maintained. There's foot-deep potholes.
Well, as you heard Howard say, they won't let them maintain the creek crossing.
Right. So
which
that's
is
why.
Totally ridiculous.
Yes, it is. So that if at some point in time that some of these are so steep, they're at probably like creek crossing number 5, coming down the hill, you're at a 20-degree angle to get into the crossings. Number 5 during wintertime can be, 3 feet deep. Even during the summertime, creek crossing number 5 has water in it.
You mentioned there's 55 property
owners in Arcade Creek, right?
Would your association be interested in maybe some matching funds to help the county with some more of these?
I was actually thinking that would be the other way around, since we're part of the headwaters, that we need some paving there so we wouldn't be creating the silt and sediment that gets into Cave Creek that causes our problem. 1985, we had salmon coming up Cave Creek that were this long. 1985 was the last time that we've seen fish. So that's 20 years ago that we've had fish in our area. So they have been known to be there, because we have videotape of it. And now with decreases and the this and the that's as salmon population goes, it would be nice if these sediment stream mitigation measures were in place, so that if fish wanted to come back up through that area, that would have at least have a chance to be in clean gravel water instead of cars, trucks, whatever, dipping through there, oil pans leaking oil, contamination, etc. So, any other questions?
I tried.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. Other members of the public speaking to this issue at Tom Kai Creek. Please step forward, Mr. Gowan. Restate your name for the record, please.
Jim Gowan. Earlier, somebody was talking about the 10-year flood and how it would overflow your bridge. However, with the bridge in place, that overflow might last only one day, where right now it could be a week before you can cross that. So the water would recede enough after one rainfall that the bridge would be in use the very next day, more likely.
Big improvement.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gowan. Other members of the public? Okay, any questions to staff or concerns? Okay, at this point, I'll close the public hearing and bring this item back before the Board of Supervisors.
I'll make a motion for the recommended motion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded for the recommended motion. Any comments, concerns to the motion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. DeShield and members of the public.
Mr. Chair, I was hoping maybe I could do my director's report.
Absolutely.
This usually doesn't happen, but I have a couple things with my director's report. First of all, I had listed that the crews will return to their 410 work week on the old daylight savings time, which was, I thought 2 weeks earlier. In fact, it's 3 weeks. So rather than March 24th, that'll be March 31st that they go back to 410s. Just error in my report. The other item I have is something I just need to discuss with the board. In 2002, the board authorized by Resolution 02-014 that the Department of Transportation pursue grant funding, again, more fish passage grant funding for several streams. One stream included in that was Ancestor Creek in the Mattole watershed on Bryceland Road in the north part of the county. At the time, I thought I was wisely authorizing the Director of Transportation to sign any related documentation necessary to get the grant funding, thinking that that would cover everything. We've had a last-minute item come to our attention on a grant we're trying to get submitted by March 24th. It actually, in the exact wording, said there needed to be a letter of support from the highest elected county official. And I thought about signing such a letter and attaching the resolution, but I thought it would be a lot better if we could have a letter of support from the board. Again, the grants have already been authorized for us to pursue. It's kind of a formality thing. I'm not sure this is proper, but I'm trying to do it quick if I can.
Okay, to County Council, this addresses the off-agenda item that's before us, is that correct?
No.
No, this is something Howard just found out about 3 hours ago.
And you could treat this as an off-agenda item as well, due to the
Okay.
urgency of it.
I'll make a motion to take this as off.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to take it as an off-agenda item before us. We have the findings to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion of the motion of taking this item up? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve this letter.
Okay.
Second?
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the letter supplied by DOT Director, Mr. DeShield. Discussion, Supervisor Pinches, or Supervisor Delbar, I'm sorry.
Mr. DeShield, we recently had a requirement of 5,000 feet of new habitat we had to open.
Right.
Does this potentially meet that?
I've looked at the possibility of getting mitigation bank credits for our 5 counties effort, and basically I've been told no because that's paid for by the resource agencies. And
So the value of the habitat is always depending on who actually pays the bill?
and even though we pay, if you look at our
Government at its
record,
finest?
we have on average contributed 30% of the cost of all of our projects.
And how many miles has that been?
Well, as far as habitat open, but all you get in the mitigation bank is if you have a culverted bottom and you open it up, you just get the square footage of area you actually placed back in wetlands. So I've looked at that before, but I haven't been successful.
But if we're required to open up 5,000 feet of habitat, and this is going to open